Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Potluck, your everything and anything talk and entertainment TV show. My name is Laura Hartman, and I am your host. Have you ever had an idea for an invention where you would want it to become true? Well, this guy right next to me, he made his invention become a reality, and it's going to make headways worldwide because it's going to help millions. So, without further ado, please welcome to the show Stuart Turner, who is an inventor and entrepreneur. And next to him is somebody who's supporting Stuart through his pathway to hopefully success, is Dr. Alan Cornfield, chiropractor and also entrepreneur. So welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for having us, Laura.
Yeah, this is great.
How are you doing?
Oh, this is great, and I really appreciate this opportunity because this is something that we've been working on for years in the background, and finally glad to be in this position and have this opportunity to communicate about it to the public at large.
Great, great. So your invention, which is not out to the public yet, is called Backtastic.
That's correct.
And it is patented.
That is correct. We actually just received patent notification 2 weeks ago, which in the back space is pretty rare. Okay.
Now there's a lot of stuff on the market for your back. You have like the pillows, and you have, I don't know, it's Dr. Cho or whatever his name is, that you wear like this big things around your back. What you have is more for like style and for wearing clothes, and people would never even notice that you have something that's working on your back and making your back feel better and making you stand up strong or taller. So,
absolutely.
So how did you get involved with this, and what made you get this idea, happen?
It became a passion just out of desperation, quite frankly. And your description there with all the different types of products out there is very apropos. Back in 2010, I unfortunately accepted a promotion at work, and before that I was very mobile. I was either on my feet, just going from place to place to place, but I never really had to sit for more than 4 hours at a time.
Oh, wow.
Literally, I can remember to the date when I took this position and was sitting for the majority of the day. About 2 weeks later, I've never had back problems before, but I was starting to come home, and literally, the pain in my back just started gradually. And then 2 months into the job, I couldn't sit there for more than an hour without having incredible pain in my lumbar region. And now this is somebody who's been running for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Totally decent shape and avid sports player. So first thing I did, segueing back to your comment about the different types of products on the market, yeah, there's all kinds of back braces, there's corsets, you've got these straps that wrap around you, wrap around your knees, and you're kind of locked in there. But there was nothing out there that gave you what we call comfort on demand, and it's very discreet. And as Alan will get to in a minute, the back, the spine, is a very complicated piece of the anatomy of the human body. So my challenge was I had to figure out how to create a product that was able to target the areas within that spine that were presenting the trouble, the stress points, and provide a product that by a touch of a button, I can actually activate air cells, which would actually inflate the back of your shirt. They're actually integrated into your shirt. So literally, I'm going to stand up here, and if you feel my back here, it looks totally normal, correct?
Right, yep.
Everything?
Yep,
nothing
totally normal.
Obtrusive?
Yep. So you're wearing the shirt right now?
I am wearing a shirt right now.
It's a t-shirt? It's
Correct.
On the t-shirt? Okay.
So it comes in all different types. So for men, they can do it in t-shirts, performance tees, or what have you.
Okay.
But we also have camisoles for women, because one thing we found with our research, easily 50% of the people we surveyed were women that were having tremendous problems.
Yeah,
because
I'm one of those.
Yeah, which is incredible. And I brought a shirt for you to actually take home with you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And my work appreciates that too.
So I was on the verge of, number one, I was going to make a decision, leave this job and find something else, and I was just lost out there. So happenstance, I run into an old friend from college I hadn't seen in 15 years, And we said there was a Ohio State, because we had moved into the Big Ten. I went to University of Maryland. You know, we said, let's go to the game and catch up. Haven't seen each other in 15 years. He had a couple kids, you know, just a lot. So we went to the football game, and literally by halftime, I was in so much pain, I had to look at my friend John and ask him if we could leave.
Oh, wow.
And he looked at me funny. And normally, you know, he'd be like, yeah, okay, no problem, because he could tell I was in pain, but he was still reluctant. And I'd never understood why, but we went ahead and left the game, and come to find out 3 months later, he had terminal cancer and passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and from that day forward, I promised myself that I would, on weekends, nights, as long as it took, find a solution for people like us who sit and actually have back pain, and this will different configurations for whatever problem area you have in your back.
Okay.
And I made sure it would be targeted toward whatever that area was. It'd be on demand, and no matter what, it'd be discreet. So it was the 3 things that people wanted.
Okay.
I don't have to carry bulky items with me. I don't have to wear those braces. I can go into a restaurant. I can sit down, and literally it's all electronic. Touch a button, and it'll actually actuate the air cells embedded in my shirt that are lined with the disc, which Alan's going to talk about here in a second.
Okay.
And once I do that, I can sit now for 12 hours straight. And at the end of the day, I can get up and I feel better than when I sat down. Like, the doctor told me I'd never run again.
Oh, wow.
Never since I started using this, after about a year, I'm back to running. So now I'm going to stand up and have you feel it.
Okay, I still can't see it.
Yep, but you feel the air cells now?
I can definitely feel it, yep.
Isn't that incredible?
So this is made for your back? I mean, is it all personalized, or do you make them all the same pretty much?
So there's 80% of the population which have, what Alan will get into here in a second, pain in their L4 and L5, the lumbar, even the sacrum region.
Okay,
so
that's what I have.
Yes, exactly. So we've got that one, that's what I'm wearing now. Then we have other configurations that are patented as well for people who have more complex problems.
Okay.
But yeah, very easy to diagnose and supply. And
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
So were you in an accident? Because I was in a car accident in 2004, and so my back has not been the same ever since. I mean, it's horrible. So I know, like, athletes and, you know, people that are just very active or have had some type of injury can have years and years of back pain later on, especially if they don't get it taken care of right away. And that's where, you know.
I'm going to be completely transparent. This came from me just sitting for prolonged periods of time.
Wow.
I couldn't understand it, but that's the first time I sat that long, and you'll see commercials now where they say sitting is the new smoking.
Right.
I believe that more now.
Yeah, I have a stand-up desk at work, so yeah, so I sit and stand. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I have a computer job, but.
It's unbelievable.
So is this good for standing as well?
Nope, this is for
sitting.
For people that are sitting, because that's really where the most damage is done.
Okay. Because
what happens is your back will deteriorate, and once you get out of misalignment, and that happens while you're sitting, especially in the wrong position, and I'm going to segue over to Alan here to describe what's happening within the spine process when you're leaning over on a computer or something, how that can actually become an avalanche of progressive misalignment.
Especially as you're aging, especially like I know, like when you're in your 20s, things start to degenerate, especially with activity. So, Alan, take it away.
I'm Dr. Alan Cornfield. As you've known, I too had back pain as a kid. I never understood it, and I was always told, stay in bed, rest, take aspirin, take medication, and that wasn't for me. I always wanted to be on the go and on the move. Luckily, I found chiropractic. Changed my life. I was able to move. I had better range of motion, and it gave me a career. And I've been doing this for 30 years now. And about 2 years ago, a friend that I played basketball with, now I'm 57, so I was 55 at the time, a friend that I played basketball with, his name is John, came over to me and said, I want you to meet a friend of mine. He has a terrific idea and product. So I met Mr. Turner, and he explained it to me, and that is how I originally got involved, and I had to think about it, because if I'm going to be supporting a product, I want to make sure it works. And I started thinking, So this is a shirt you're wearing underneath your shirt, so it's an undershirt, and it's a balloon that blows up and puts your back into extension. So, you know, people are sitting like this all the time. People are texting on their phone, using their computers, eating their food. Everybody's in a rush, and it's bad. And I gotta believe almost everybody out there has experienced pain when they stand up. If they ever notice, if they sit straight, for an example, now many cars have lumbar supports.
Exactly.
So when you have the lumbar support in the car, you blow it up to where you're comfortable. A lot of times I'll tell my patients, if you don't have a lumbar support, or even if you do, take a t-shirt, roll it up, put it in your back.
Or a towel.
And then all of a sudden you get out of the car and you're not in pain. It's a difference of biomechanics, and you really have to be thinking about this stuff all the time. When Mr. Turner was talking a moment ago, and he said it's not for when you're standing, he's come up with an amazing invention, and it has a small little motor on the side of the shirt that inflates and then deflates. So yes, when you're standing, you're still wearing the backtastic. It's important to, you know, it's nothing you take off, and then when you sit down, you push a button and it inflates in about 3 to 5 seconds. Very quick, very easy. Nobody's gonna know you're wearing it, and it's very, very comfortable. And Stuart's an inventor. I'm just the doctor, and he's gonna be coming up with other ideas to be using with the backtastic in the future. Electrodes, which everybody knows helps the muscles relax at the same time. So trying to get everything working together. But let me give you a little discussion. Here we have the spine, okay? This is not a real spine. This is a model of a spine, so nobody worry, okay? Oh, and by the way, we didn't plan to dress the same.
No, we did not.
It's just a coincidence, the blue and the gray, you know, it's north and south. But, it's, you know, I'm from New York, he's from the south, and this is the blue and gray, so we got everything covered. But this is the spine, and this would be your low back, mid back, and cervical region, or the neck. This is the base of the skull. So if you're looking at it sideways, you can see here there's a C-shaped curve here. Here it's going the other way, and then it's going back. What happens is, with many people, as I will demonstrate and show you, this is a normal spine where you have a nice curve. Do you see that? And here you could see a cartoon of it. You have an injury. Many things happen. You could have an injury, you could be sitting wrong, or it could just happen through age. And all of a sudden it starts straightening, or it starts turning. And your back, you become arthritic. Some people, a lot of women have osteoporosis, or injuries from playing football or basketball or even ice skating, okay? And then time goes on, and as you can see, you start getting, I'll move back, and you start getting arthritic changes, okay? And that's because you're not correcting this. So if you can get to the arthritis and you can get to the injury earlier in the process, much earlier, you could prevent it from going to other phases and stages where the back is totally straight, arthritic, not moving, okay? Now personally, as you might be able to see on the camera, I have a bloodshot eye. And no, it's not from drinking. I'm doing jujitsu every day, and I got hit in the face. And all I could do was laugh.
And it wasn't me.
And it wasn't Stuart. But all I could do was laugh because I have arthritis by not taking care of it at a very young age. I only wish I knew about the backtastic when I was a kid in elementary school, and when the teacher would used to say, "Don't sit like this, sit up straight." Well, that teacher was right. And you know, everybody's had that experience in school. Put your feet on the ground. And it just happens. And when you're in your car, you're sitting up a little straighter usually. But so I wish I knew about it earlier so I could have prevented the arthritis from happening. Now I've been told, don't play sports anymore. I don't buy it. in my opinion, life is motion. You need to move, you need to stretch, you need to eat properly, but proper biomechanics, which was the word you used before, biomechanics will help longevity of the spine, ease of motion, and yes, less pain. This Backtastic is going to help so many people, and it's so easy because you could just wear it. It's not a, right now there's going to be belts invented too, but it's not a belt you're taking on and off, or it's nothing you're going to be sweating. It's very comfortable, very lightweight.
Yeah.
Question, how do you wash it?
So great question. So again, this is a garment you're going to be wearing any day, every day anyway.
Okay.
So we've designed it so literally you take the pump and the air cell system, slide out within 15 seconds. Throw the shirt in the washer.
Okay.
Clean it. Pops back in 10 seconds. Put it back on. You're ready to go.
Okay.
And Alan made a great reference earlier. The best way to describe Backtastic, and I've never had a Rolls Royce before, but in these luxury cars, they have these fantastic lumbar driver seats where they have adjustments to where you can be in the perfect position. And what we've done here with Backtastic is taken all that technology and actually put it into a shirt. Comes from on demand, discreet, and it performs.
So can we take a look at some of your shirts? And also one more question. So if somebody's wearing this at an airport, they'll have to take it out when they go through the security.
That's another great question. I'll show you that.
And is that easy to do? I mean, would that be like, because like when you're standing in line, you're kind of like rushing to like get everything into the little bin.
Yeah. And also using it on an airplane, because they don't have lumbar support.
Exactly.
Would be a great time. If you're on a long
Yeah.
flight, people are cringing in pain when they get off that flight. So that is a great.
Oh yeah, no, this is a great product. I need it.
And that's really, on the airplane, is really what started to get my mind thinking of how to approach it, because I would buy a bottle of water, the big plastic bottle of water, and I'd literally put it right back there, and it was almost perfect, because it gave you that,
Right, just enough support.
Yep, exactly. I was like, man, if you could only get that type of technology built into a shirt, and then with the touch of a button, because there's a ton of products where you pump and you pump and you pump, or you're doing some other pump to get the core set, but all that's done. So now I'll just show you a couple examples here real quickly.
So will you make different styles? I mean, I know like for the women you have the camisole and you have different colors.
Absolutely.
And stuff.
So definitely we want this, again, to not interrupt whatever fashion you go by each day. And then we also have, we're gonna, for companies, it's the second largest cost from the HR department are people missing work because of lower back pain.
Right, yes.
So by being able to take, for instance, if you hold that for a second for me, I've done a University of Maryland shirt here, so we're going to actually brand shirts for corporations.
Oh, wow.
And their HR department can make them available to their employees, especially their programmers who are sitting there for 12 hours a day.
Right.
But then they miss next week because their back is so much in pain.
Yeah, as I was telling you earlier before the show, my back was really bad a few months ago, and I mean, it hurt to sit, hurt to stand. I mean, it was just I was in a bad way, but they got me a stand-up desk at work.
Yep.
So that helps. But when I sit down,
you still want to sit sometimes because obviously you can develop other problems. So the technology here, for instance, let's take your camisole for example. Super light, you can feel how light these are.
Yeah.
Just like that. And that has multiple bladders or air cell configurations, so you can do lumbar or vertical.
Okay.
So for you, I've got this here, and I'm just going to lay this down just so hopefully people can see it. And you would be wearing it. Here's the back of the shirt, right? And we've got the pump right in here. And when you actually activate it, you'll see here, put your hand right here.
The sound is the motor blowing it up. So you can hear that it's pretty quiet.
Actuating the air cells. But look what's happening to your camisole. And I want you to feel how soft and buoyant this is. So your back is feeling like it's floating on a cloud. Put your hand right there.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Wow.
So we can have that for the lumbar. We have a T that comes up here. We can have it so it hits trigger points in your back here. But when you want to get up, you don't want to walk around looking like a hunchback, right?
No. Okay,
so we simply hit another button, and it actually you'll see
It'll deflate.
before you get up, it just deflates.
Okay.
And that way, when you go around your regular day, it looks like a totally normal shirt again.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Wow. And you make different styles? You know, women are very picky.
Yeah, so we're starting out with the black and white camisels to try and hit a lot of people that are in pain right now.
You do the ones with the straps.
Absolutely.
Straps.
Yep. So this will actually start, you'll see it branch out into multiple variations for women and men.
I think like some of the fashion designers should probably hit you up.
Yeah.
You
well,
know,
it's
I mean,
interesting.
This is really great.
I've done this one. I used an Under Armour shirt, under T-shirt. You can call it a performance shirt or an undershirt. But the neat thing about this is I wear these all the time, and to be able to now, I can hit this. Fallon, if you want to.
Yeah.
And in this particular example, I've got a T-cell air cell configuration in here.
Okay.
So not only, and I'm going to put this on the ground so you can see what's happening.
Let me explain this.
Yeah, because this is a little bit confusing.
So Mr. Turner has come up with a few different configurations so it supports the back differently. So if your problem happens to be in the very low sacrum or the lowest part of your back region, there's a bladder for that. A bladder, another word for a balloon. But if you have problems higher up, he has other configurations to support other areas of the low back. So when we're talking about a T, it's an upside down T.
Exactly.
So the T comes across and supports right here, which is where most people are having problems.
Right.
But then the other part, the bottom part of the T, which is now the top part of the shirt, is actually coming up the spine. So it's important that you understand that it's giving you support and you have comfort. And that comfort is immeasurable.
I can't tell you when I first, I've been working on this for 3 years, so a lot of them were homemade and stuff like that.
Right.
But when I first started wearing mine, it was a new life.
Oh,
because literally when I got home from work, I went straight to bed and laid down until the pain subsided. Now I get home from work, I actually run.
Oh, wow.
Doctors
So
told me
now you're back into running.
I was up to 240 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Because I was just in pain all the time, and I didn't want to take all the opiates and all the stuff the doctors were telling me to take.
Right, and that's a big thing. That's a big problem in this country, and a lot of doctors are now having to turn to physical therapists and chiropractors because they don't want to prescribe that. That's
Right.
one of their requirements. So,
Well, you know,
This
let me
is
say
a
something
big thing.
about that. One of the reasons I got involved was,
Exactly.
okay, another reason I got involved is I take care of patients every day. Patients get better, but the most important thing is staying better.
Yeah.
So they need me less, or another an orthopedist less, their primary care physician less, and they could do more on their own. So they can do it at home. So it's not only about the time, the 10 minutes they're in my office, and that day they're feeling great. You want them to stay feeling great.
Sure.
And by keeping your spine moving properly, we call it a subluxation, when it goes out of place, it's gonna happen. But if it can happen less, or if you can keep your back into extension, which is keeping that C-shaped curve, you're gonna have less problems. And less problems, less pain, more movement.
Okay.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, the camisole I showed you, that actually gets pretty big. It gets to a pretty big curve. And that's what I started with. But now that my back's gotten healthier, I've gone down to a more lower profile one for maintenance.
Okay.
Because now, although I'm not experiencing pain right now, I don't want to be experiencing pain tomorrow.
Right.
So it's almost a preventative maintenance
Okay.
solution as well. It's just amazing. I
Sure.
don't know what else to say. For a year and a half, I've been making these for all my friends because everybody saw it. They were like, I guess 1 out of 3 people at least have lower back pain. So I can't tell you how many of these
Oh my
I've
gosh.
made in my basement for friends of mine.
Wow.
Real quick story if we have time.
Actually, we've got like 2 minutes.
Yep. A lady that had her job dependent on it was in terrible pain. I made one up, shipped it out to her. She's been great and kept her job.
Wow. Wow. Well,
Let me just say a couple of things. The reason this bladder is also great is because you could blow it up to big, medium, or
adjustable.
small. Everybody's back is different. Some people have a good curve. It could be used in any different shape.
Okay.
This is a great product for the future.
So if I could just mention one thing,
Sure.
we're not selling these yet, but we are going to do a Kickstarter campaign starting in mid-June. So yeah, I would love any support for people that want to check out our page on Kickstarter in June. That would be fantastic.
And that is when your website will go live?
Correct.
And it's Backtastic.com. Backtastic.
Correct.
.com. Okay.
Backtastic.com.
One more question. So for people that actually have like scoliosis or like other issues and stuff, should they go to a chiropractor or talk to somebody
first,
before?
you always have to have the problem diagnosed.
Okay.
Scoliosis is a different kind of curve. Everybody hears the word, but that's not about forward to back. That's side to side.
Right. Okay.
Will it help? Yes. But there's other exercises that it's very important that you go along and try to balance the muscles in your spine.
Okay.
This will help. It's not going to cure scoliosis.
Okay.
This isn't going to cure arthritis. It's going to help you deal with the pain.
Okay. I wish I had this like 10 years ago or 20 years
I wish
ago.
I had it. I wish I had it 50 years ago because I wouldn't have developed the back pain that I developed. And I feel better now than I did as a teenager.
Well, you guys are making me feel
Products
guilty
like
for not getting this out sooner.
Yeah.
But it took,
well,
it took
at
a
least
lot
you
of time.
thought about it, because I went years in pain and never thought about doing a solution. I was just more
desperate.
like just dying in pain, and I'm sure that's common for a lot of people. So anyway, if you're just tuning in, make sure you catch us on the web at www.potluck-online.org, and make sure the middle of June you go hit his website at www.backtastic, Backtastic, look for his Kickstarter, and check out his shirts, because he's going to make a world of difference for millions of people. I mean, back issues.
Truly believe
Unbelievable.
it. I wouldn't have spent the last
And people
4
of all
years.
ages.
Yeah.
You could prevent problems when you're younger, and we've all seen older people as they get older. They're walking hunched over. It's awful. You don't want to get to that point.
No, you
and
don't.
this could prevent you from getting to that point.
Definitely. So check this out. And thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much,
Laura.
Laura.
Thank you.